20 amazing places to visit before they vanish. Nothing lasts forever. Many of the places on this list are huge tourist destinations, but one day humans might regard them as mere stories of the past. Here are some fantastic sights to see that might not stick around too long. Before we get into today's video, make sure that you're subscribed and hit the bell icon so that you never miss any of our uploads. Venice, Italy. The entirety of Italy's famous floating city may one day be submerged in the water. Venice started sinking into its wooden foundations in the 20th century. Climate change also plays a part in its eventual disappearance, with water levels rising to 4.3 inches in the past few decades. At first, experts thought the city finally stabilized, but updated studies show that Venice is still sinking lower and lower into the water. So if you've never visited this gem along the Adriatic Sea, you should book your tickets now, unless you love scuba diving. The Great Barrier Reef. This reef system counts as the largest in the whole world. It is comprised of over 2,900 individual reefs and spans over 1,400 miles. Located in the Coral Sea off the coast of Queensland, Australia, the Great Barrier Reef has been subject to coral bleaching in the past couple of years. In 2016, a report showed that coral bleaching was more widespread than people realized. Coral bleaching occurs when the temperature in the ocean changes. The change stresses out the coral, causing them to eject the algae, leading them to starve slowly. A third of the reefs here reportedly already died off in 2016. The Swiss Alps glaciers. If you've ever seen photos and wondered why people drape white cloth blankets over the Swiss Alps, it's because they're trying to protect what's left of this natural formation. The glaciers of the Swiss Alps are melting. Higher temperatures mean that the ice mass in Switzerland might disappear if we don't do anything about it. The Rhone Glacier formed over 11,000 years ago, and since 1856, the glacier has retreated 4,600 feet. Now, when summer hits, people hike up here to place the blankets in hopes it will protect the glacier during the hottest part of the year. The Congo Basin. The Congo Basin is the world's second largest tropical forest right after the Amazon. Now it is in desperate danger of being lost forever. It could disappear in as little as 50 years if mineral exploration continues at the rate it's going. The Congo Basin loses 3.7 million acres a year to farming, road development, logging, oil exploitation, and mining. The biggest issue is that 400 mammal species call the Congo Basin home, and if their home vanishes, they may vanish with it. In an attempt to rescue the land and slow the damaging process, the World Wildlife Fund created millions of acres of protected areas, as well as introduced sustainable forest plans and spreading word to raise awareness. Île de la Madeleine, Quebec. Located in the Gulf of St. Lawrence, Île de la Madeleine is currently protected from destructive storms and high winds by a high concentration of sea ice in the form of a wall. The problem is, the wall is disappearing. Scientists estimate that the ice wall will melt away sometime between 2050 and 2090. Intense storms will flood and destroy the island along with the cities here. The Sundarbans. You'll find the Sundarbans by a delta in the Bay of Bengal. Here, mangrove forests cover the land while tidal streams and channels flow into mudflats. When translated from the Bengali language, the name Sundarban means beautiful forest, and it's beautiful indeed. Look at this deer in a blue forest. How is that not amazing? These forests between India and Bangladesh are also home to animals such as tree-climbing mud skipper fish, tigers, and king cobras. Sewage threatens the well-being of the Sundarbans as well as heavy deforestation. The Maldives. The 1,190 islands that make up the Maldives are a prime spot for honeymooners and beachgoers. The Maldives' beautiful beaches and five-star resorts draw in vacationers looking for a tropical getaway. The problem is that these beautiful islands lie only 5 feet above sea level. Scientists have predicted that the rising tides could flood the islands in just a few decades. Global warming could be the cause. That increase in global temperatures results in rising sea levels, leading to many lands flooding. Olympia, Greece. The small town of Olympia is located on the Peloponnese Peninsula of Greece. One of its defining features is the archaeological site that once served as the venue for the ancient Olympic Games. The site used to hold over 70 buildings, the ruins of which remain. Due to wildfires, the historical marvel may be in grave danger. Global warming caused hotter, drier summers in the area, making the plants more likely to catch fire during the season. Lots of flora surround the archaeological site, bringing wildfires dangerously close to the ruins. Kilimanjaro, Tanzania. The snow-capped peak of Kilimanjaro is the stuff of legends. Ever heard of The Snows of Kilimanjaro by Ernest Hemingway? If you somehow haven't, take a look at this photo and tell us you've never seen it before. One day, the famous snows of these 3 volcanic cones in Tanzania might melt away forever. Experts say that 85% of the snow that used to be there 100 years ago has since dissolved. Komodo Island, Indonesia. The nation of Indonesia consists of thousands of volcanic islands located in Southeast Asia. One of its notable islands, Komodo Island, is home to a third of Komodo National Park, with the rest found on the islands of Rinca and Pandar. Why is Komodo in danger? Coral bleaching might end the reef system here that scuba divers from all over the world enjoy. The Galapagos Islands. The Galapagos Islands are home to a plethora of species and span 620 miles off the coast of Ecuador. The species here cannot be found anywhere else in the world and reside on the active volcano islands. The threat of losing these islands, as well as the plants and animals that dwell here, is real. Things like illegal fishing, non-native species, and an overabundance of tourists each year help destroy the ecosystem. The once isolated islands are visited more and more, causing pollution and animal disruption. Global warming also threatens the island. The increased sea temperature kills off algae and fish that other animals on the island rely on as a food source. Patagonian ice field. South America isn't just home to rainforests, it's also home to some super icy landscapes. Among those landscapes, people frequently visit the Patagonian ice fields of Argentina. Among those fields is the Perito Moreno Glacier, one of the most prominent tourist attractions in Argentina. While some of the glaciers expanded just a tad recently, over 90% of the rest of it is shrinking and melting into the sea. The Mongolian steppe. Mongolia, the smallest populated country in the world, is well known for its vast grassland plains enclosed by deserts and mountains. Experts say the hundreds of miles of open space will not be around for much longer. The boom in the mining industry threatens to overtake Mongolia, the government issuing mineral exploration licenses for most of the country. The economy keeps growing at a rapid pace and will continue to grow at an average of 9.7%, the fastest in the world through 2030, but it will come as a cost to the environment. Madagascar rainforest. The lowland forests of Madagascar spread over 43,300 square miles. The tropical rainforest found on the island's east coast shelters most of the biodiversity of Madagascar. When you compare the forest to a century ago, you'll see that 90% of the original rainforests have disappeared. Salar de Uyuni. Salar de Uyuni sources half of the lithium reserves in the world. A long time ago, Salar de Uyuni existed as a prehistoric lake. It dried up since then and is now closer to a desert landscape. Not too many animals live here, save for the bright pink flamingos. Located in the Andes of Southwest Bolivia, the popular salt flat may soon be a relic of the past. As the demand for lithium batteries increases, what you see left of Salar de Uyuni will decrease. The Athabasca Glacier, Canada. The Athabasca Glacier is located in the Canadian Rockies and is the most visited glacier in North America. The Athabasca Glacier is now almost 1,000 feet deep, but is losing more than 16 feet of ice every year. It's currently in danger of completely disappearing due to global warming causing a drier environment with less chance for the ice to survive. The Karnali River, Nepal. The Karnali River begins on the Tibetan Plateau and runs along the Himalayas to India. The river measures 315 miles long, Nepal's longest, largest, and widest river. It's a prime spot for whitewater rafting thanks to its clear water, consistent flow, and huge rapids. Those rapids are also in grave danger. Hydropower development of a dam threatens to cause a daily drought and flood in the river, meaning the water will only flow for 4 hours. If built, the dam would generate electricity for export to China and India. Glacier National Park. The year 2030 may be when Montana's Glacier National Park will be gone forever. In the mid-1800s, 150 glaciers covered the area. Today, only 25 are left. Climate change is the culprit and is causing the glaciers to melt at an astounding rate. The national park is known for its unique animal and plant species, but this won't be the case anymore when the glacier-fed cold water is gone. Amazon rainforest. 9 countries share the Amazon rainforest, with Bolivia, Brazil, Guyana, Peru, and Suriname, to name a few. The biodiversity in the Amazon represents more than 50% of the world's rainforest. The most substantial threat to this rainforest is wood exploitation in the form of logging. Logging companies are not only ripping the forest apart, but they're affecting the local people's rights, overrunning their land. A close second threat to the Amazon is the production of fuel wood, charcoal, and paper. Nearly there. Before we tell you number 1, let's ask you a question. What place in the world would you spend all your money to visit if you knew it was going to disappear soon? Let us know in the comments below. 1. The Dead Sea. The Dead Sea borders Israel, Jordan, and the West Bank. Oh, and it's a lake, not a sea. However, it is a huge lake, measuring 31 miles long and 9 miles wide. The water is extremely rich in minerals and is usually full of people from all over the world looking to bathe in the water and rid themselves of various health issues, including psoriasis and osteoarthritis. The main concern for the Dead Sea is that the water seems to be disappearing. The water level is decreasing because of a few reasons. The first is water and mineral extraction. Since the water here is much saltier than in the ocean, it's perfect for making fertilizer, a product sought after by top manufacturers. Another reason the water level here is dropping is that local agricultural companies are taking water from the Jordan River, which runs into the Dead Sea, to water their crops and fields. If something isn't done soon, the Dead Sea could be dried up by 2050.